Welcome to Auction House Live. Today we are streaming Bring a Trailer auctions once again. We're gonna start with some.
We loved it so much yesterday that we're back.
We're gonna start with some auctions that closed out, and then we're gonna move on to the S2000 to start. There's an AP2, but first we're gonna start with the FD 1994 RX-7 Touring that just closed for $70,000.
What's up, Racer Boy? How we doing?
Racer
back
Boy,
at it.
back
Any of
at
you guys that are here? We've upped the set a little bit. We got off that dorm room couch.
Yep.
So hey, hopefully you guys like the improved set.
Yep, we have a nice large table here. M Flag C5 RS6, one of our favorite cars that we've owned in the background. So we're pumped about it. But like we just said, we're going to be going through this FDRX7
Yep.
listing that just closed, and then we're going to move on to the AP2 S2000 and touch on a couple other cars that caught our eye, right? And then whatever people want to see, we could also go through. But FDRX7, one of my favorite 90s cars. I think it's gorgeous. Kyle doesn't.
I'm not a big RX-7 guy.
Not
myself,
a huge RX-7 guy, but I just think they're incredibly unique. The fact that the RX-7 and RX-8 are pretty much the last two cars to come to the U.S. To have the rotary engine, and this one just, 4,000 miles, just looks absolutely exceptional.
All right. Can we just go down onto this picture here? Yeah. So I was reading a little bit about this.
Yep.
This is a sound. This is part of the Bose sound system, I guess.
From the era, right?
Yes, from the era.
Okay.
Right there it says Bose acoustic wave sound system. So it uses that ducting, I guess, to improve your sound.
It's a sound wave. It looks like it does something with the sound waves that are being emitted, whatever song you're listening to, I guess, and modifies them in a way with that tubing to optimize sound. But I've never seen that in a car. That's super unique. But this, like all FDs, has a 1.3 liter sequential turbo rotary engine. This one looks extremely fresh. 255 horsepower and 217 foot-pounds of torque when new. A lot of people talk about apex seals when it comes to this engine. They're little seals at the end of the rotor that kind of prevent the engine from eating itself. So those are huge. I'm not too familiar with the maintenance on this car with 4,000 miles. I think this thing was just parked up in somebody's garage. Total collector item, and the price really reflects that. It looks pretty clean. It's 4,000 miles. I'm a fan of the pop-up headlights. I think it looks.
Those are retro, man.
Like,
those are pretty dope.
I think it has some Corvette in it. I think it has a little bit of Viper, and then it has a JDM twist to it. So I think it's a really cool looking car. A little bit of Supra for me too. And this one is just really clean.
Is that the badging that came on its stock?
Yep, that's the stock badging. As you can see, the tilt sunroof here. The paint looks pretty exceptional. It looks like a dealer might have picked this up from a private collection. I think it's a dark blue, and it's super deep and really sets off the tan interior well. 5-spoke alloys look great. A unique RX-7 badging. Looks like a pretty exceptional car. I'm a fan of rotaries. I know they can be an absolute pain to maintain.
Heard they're pretty fuel efficient.
You don't get the best fuel, especially if you're running like E85 and tunes like that. But it's a car that needs to be driven. It's a lot of guys who have RX-7 say they were designed to burn oil. So you have to be very vigilant about your oil, checking dipstick at every fill up, if not more frequently than that. And it says this one was recently serviced with oil change, new spark plugs, and a new battery. So with 4,000 miles, I don't see any reason why they would need to do apex seals or anything else like that. But these are cool. It's like
I think it went for a pretty solid price.
Right. It's like, for me, it's
so.
like a unique hardtop Miata. These weigh a little bit more. They're 2,700 to 2,900 pounds, but they have more power. The rotary engine, um, manual transmission, and they just rev to the moon, and they're just a good classic JDM car. So I think the seller did really well on this.
Yeah.
I think the new owner, unfortunately, was probably going to be parking this one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And that's I just don't see spending 70,000 on an RX-7 when examples with 30,000-40,000 miles are going for 40,000.
Yeah.
He's not going to take that kind of hit by driving it, I don't think. So this is a total collector.
Yeah. I mean, we missed the live auction, so let's move over to that S2K.
Yeah, so we're going to move over to the live auctions. Right now we're closing on a couple. We have Toyota Tundra TRD closing out, 500 SE, a 912, but we're going to hop into the S2000. We have 15 minutes to go. We're going to post on this, and we are, I think we're still quite a ways off, specifically because this is a hardtop AP2.
Oof.
Not the biggest fan of this shade. I know there's a cult following
Go back.
for the Suzuka Blue, but
If you go back up, maybe it's just the angle. Yeah, it's got to just be the sun.
yeah,
The bumper looks like.
it might have been resprayed.
I don't know.
We can investigate a little bit for you guys. But
Wow, that hard top is dope.
go up a little bit. Oh yeah, 17-inch AP2 wheels look really nice. I'm an AP2 guy over AP1. I think
agree,
you are too,
100%.
right? I just think there's a lot of AP1 guys who like the more raw driving experience. It revs a little bit more than the AP2, but I think everything that they added to the AP2 just made it a better car.
Yeah, look at that.
I think it is a lot stiffer. I'm just looking up some notes here on today's auctions. But yeah, I mean, 57,000 miles, comes with a hardtop, Suzuka Blue. I love the 17-inch AP2 wheels. Let's go through the gallery here. Looks exceptionally
Dude, doesn't
clean.
that looks resprayed a little bit?
It does look.
Go back.
The front bumper does
Right?
look like it has a respray to it.
I'm gonna see if I can find that here.
Yeah, investigate that a little bit. So AP2 versus AP1. Here I have a list. We have new 17-inch rims, retuned suspension, more rigid subframe, carbon fiber gearbox synchronizers, revised front and rear bumpers, new front fascia, and a lengthened stroke. It went from 2 liters to 2.2 liters. And those are the most notable AP2 improvements. And I prefer the 2.2 to the 2 liter. I know it doesn't rev as freely or as high, but I like it more. And I having driven the AP1 and AP2, I think the stiffer chassis and all the improvements aesthetically really add to it. Regardless, I mean, you can't go wrong with an S2000 in my
Not
opinion.
at all.
AP1 or AP2, they're just the best to drive. But
Oh wow, seller posted today that the reserve was mad at 17.5. I don't like that. I don't like when people say the reserve is off.
Yeah. Is it okay? Can you check his past history? See if he's a first time bring a trailer seller. Because typically you don't do that.
His first sell.
First sell.
He's been a BAT member though for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
3.5 years.
The blue leather, I'm not crazy about. I think it could, if this was black or
I don't know. I haven't seen it in person. I don't.
Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of the Suzuka Blue on the blue. Love the digital dash. It's just so reminiscent of the S2000. We had an AP2 in Silverstone Gray.
Yep.
170,000 miles on ours. Let's just say it wasn't as clean as this one.
Nope.
But it was. I mean, it was drove tight as hell, and just was a great S2000.
Matching hard top, right?
Yeah, look at the underneath. The underbody is exceptionally clean
That
for 57,000
I'd eat my
miles.
burger off that thing, man.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
You can see all the brass still in
Wow.
the fittings. All the bushings look good. It looks like he has. This is what I love about JDM cars of this era. They make the VIN on the paneling look is just so prevalent. and he gets all of that. 2 sets of keys, all factory books. This is a 3-owner, changed ownership in 2018. So, this could have been a little flip.
I think I thought I saw he had owned it since 2016.
Okay, yeah, Carfax can sometimes not be accurate with that when you update your registration
Or maybe
or something else. But it looks like he took possession in January of 18, so he's at it for a little bit over a year now. Maintained it at Honda.
Dude, these things are both like.
I mean, 57,000 miles in an S2000, you don't have to worry about it. So if you just tuned in, this is Auction House Live. We are covering Bring a Trailer auctions today, 425. We're starting out with this 57K mile 2004 AP2 S2000.
All right, as Phil had just mentioned, we had an S2000 that we owned. My personal opinion is that it was the best feeling shifter in a car that I've driven. Like, I don't know, I can't pinpoint exactly what it was. I loved it. It was short. It was notchy. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And like these things just rip. The VTEC is unbelievable. It was my first time ever experiencing VTEC, and like I was pretty blown away. It's like a turbo kicking in.
Almost,
6,500.
Yeah,
right?
You have those valves open up, and it takes off all the way up to the red line. Red line here is set at 8,000. I believe in the AP1 it might be 8,200, 8,300. I think it has a couple hundred over the AP2. In the AP2 you get 0.2 liters more though. Goes from the stroke was increased, so we go from a 2 liter to a 2.2.
What's the power difference? Is it?
I think
it's got to be minimal. 20 horsepower.
I think it's 20 to 30 horsepower difference. This example we're looking at right now for the people who have tuned in is a Suzuka Blue AP2 S2000. It seems like reserve has already been hit according
reserve has been hit. I don't. What do you guys think? What do you guys do? Any of you guys that are tuning in that might be bidding? How do you feel about that? I personally don't want to know the reserve. Mm-hmm. I think that takes a little bit of surprise away from it. But to each their own, I guess. Racer Boy, I agree. Carfax is much slower than AutoCheck. I don't have an AutoCheck account. I've got a Carfax account.
Yep.
So I don't have much experience, but I think this is a little off topic, but I think Carfax is kind of BS. You need to take it with a grain of salt. Exactly. There's so much you can hide from Carfax, and it seems like people on Bring a Trailer don't really follow the Carfax to the T. Like,
people buy the seller, and
exactly.
we say that time and time again. You buy the seller, you don't buy the car. You need to get to know the seller. You call him or her, email him or her privately if you're considering a car, and get a feel.
You can find out within 30 seconds.
Oh my God. The way people talk about their cars, the way they represent them, you can tell whether or not this has been cared for. But it seems as if this 57K AP2 S2000 has.
Yeah, Matt C, I agree with you, man. Anything under 20K for this is an absolute steal.
With that hardtop.
With the hardtop, yeah. So our, as Phil mentioned, our S2K with 172,000 miles, we got like 8,500.
No, 9250.
9250 for that, all right? 172,000 miles, no hardtop, a slight oil leak even.
Yeah.
And like this thing is at double that with a third of the mileage, hardtop.
I think this
should be 20.
I think I'd pay 20s.
I'd pay 22 all day if I'm looking for a clean S2K. I like this car.
I even think at that price
You think that's a steal?
I think 23 to 25 for this car all day. I think the seller shot himself in the foot by saying reserve is off.
Yep.
But who knows? Who knows?
These cars are pretty small inside.
Oh my God!
There's not a lot of room.
You're gonna get to, if you haven't driven an S2000, it's like any other sports convertible. You're gonna get to know your passenger very well. The top mechanism is great. You just unlatch 2 latches, right?
Yep.
And then you hit the button and it comes right down. It's just down in seconds. I absolutely love that. And it's just everything about the S2000 is completely oriented at the driver, right? But I just love the way the cockpit is set up. You have your the start button right there. You have all your radio controls on your left side. All the pods are faced towards you, right?
Yep.
You have the flip down panel for the radio, which I love. I think that's completely developed around the driver, because if you're driving an S2000, you have an exhaust on it, you're top down, you're in the twisties, right? You're gonna turn that radio off and you're gonna hide it, and it's seamless.
And
it looks
focused.
Great.
It's just focused right on the driver.
Right,
that's it.
Focus on the driver, and all your inputs, right? How you're interacting with the car is just incredible, right? You have a great shifter, really nice leather steering wheel, and pedals that are spaced perfectly for heel towing. Clutch and shifter feel from our experience in the AP2s, really, really nice. You have a digital dash readout with the tack right in front of you, so you don't miss your shift. I think the digital dash is just quintessential S2000, which I really like.
Yep.
And there's the VTEC 2.2.
That's clean as hell.
Clean as hell. I really like the gold.
The gold, it's just a plate.
Like a coil pack cover.
Looks like these headlights, I don't know any of you guys that might be watching are bidding on this or not, those could use a little bit of restoration. They're yellow tinted. That's so easy to do though. Look on YouTube, how to restore headlights. We've done it multiple times.
Yeah, just make sure when you restore your headlights that you put a sealant on top of them, because part of the process of restoring them is you remove that UV film, right?
Yep.
So you definitely want to coat them and make sure they're protected. But that's an easy thing to do.
I'm surprised.
So minor.
I didn't see anything in the comments about a resprayed front bumper, but
based on the angles,
there's a ton of photos.
It looks like it's a completely different shade, and I think it's probably has been resprayed, but we could be wrong.
Clean as hell.
Clean as hell. You can see the drive line there, exhaust right next to it, not a hint of rust. All the fittings, all the bolts. There's a lot of what appear to be brass fittings and bolts. Look great. Based on our analysis of the bushings, they look to be in great shape. All the seals on the doors check out. Every panel is stamped with its unique VIN, which is good to see. I really like when they.
We've got all right. We just hit 18 grand. All right, so we're making our way.
Yep.
I'm just checking out the comments here on my other screen. We need to get a second monitor set up here so we can be chatting with you guys from our account and reading comments.
But that's a good looking car.
That is a beautiful car. This gentleman here said he has the exact twin of this car, same color, the hard top, and he said the hard top matching color is super rare, allows him to enjoy the car year round, and I guess it seems like there's some special hardware that's needed to secure the hard top, but this car comes with the hardware as well. Right? So that's got to be a $1,500 to $2,000 bump just having the hard top alone, because I completely agree. It makes it a year-round car. Then I have another guy on here. He's saying it's such a bummer. This is Tiger 66. It's a bummer that these cars look so good with the hard top on because they're a blast to drive with the top down. And I said, hey, you might be in an area that it's way too hot out to be cruising top down in August, Throw the hard top on, maybe get some AC in there.
Right.
And there you go. You've got a gorgeous car.
Did you post a link to the stream in there?
I did, yeah.
Okay, cool. You fast, fun, year round, especially if you live in a climate that doesn't say it doesn't snow, but in some of the southern climates it gets down to 40 or 30 at nights during the winter, and you still want to drive your AP2, and or if you just want to drive in the rain or whatever, the hardtop just gives you great versatility in terms of all weather drivability. Looks like Ryan Mack, the owner, gave a great driving video and a walk around, so it seems like a transparent seller.
Yep.
Representing a clean car.
Just hit 18,250.
Yep.
This could be one of those auctions that runs for
a little bit.
For a little bit. I hope so for the seller's case. I mean,
looks like the windshield might be tinted. Right? The windshield looks like it has a tint film on it.
Where's this coming from?
So this is out of Chandler, Arizona.
So,
I think the windshield's probably
that's
tinted.
Legal.
It's legal. Yeah.
I think it's legal there. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
God, that's sick.
Yeah, I really like the fact that he tinted the entire hardtop.
Like we were saying yesterday.
His windows. I just think the black tint adds to it, right?
I think on any car, whether it's a 2018 Honda Civic or.
And I'm not talking crazy 5% tint, right? We're talking
something to shield.
Yeah.
Like shield
20
the inside.
20 to 30%.
I'm a 20% guy myself.
You're a 20% guy?
We're also in Boston, so if I was in Arizona, I mean, there's definitely a case for the 5% with how hot it gets. So,
I mean, if you're trying to do some sketchy stuff, get some 5% tint. But yeah, this AP2 looks great. If you're just tuning in, this is Auction House Live. We're covering this 2004 Honda S2000. We have 43 seconds on the clock. It's sitting at 18,251, and reserve has been met.
If this goes for 18.2, yeah, okay, 18.5.
It's not.
There's no way.
There's no way. I think people are, because the seller said reserve has been met, I think the bids are going to go up in $250 increments.
Yep.
Just because people
There's
know
no reason,
the reserve, right? They're not going to bid up 1,000 because it's already out there. And I think he just, why you do that, seller?
We had Racer Boy in the comments saying benefits in advising when reserve is off would be to assure bidders know when their bid actually counts and the high bid will win it. And yeah, I totally agree. People, they know that their bid counts, but then on the other side, what Phil's saying here is if I don't know the reserve, I might throw a banger bid of $2,000
because you have an idea of what the car is valued at,
what it's valued at, and what I'm willing to pay.
I mean,
but now knowing that the reserve is off, there's no reason because each $250 bid, you got another chance to take it home. So,
so yeah, we might see this auction drag out a little bit because reserve has been met or reserve is off rather.
I can't. After this car, we're gonna be going into that Hawkeye STI.
Hawkeye STI is next. That's a beautiful car. So we're gonna be keeping a JDM for the first two cars. This is what? Auction House Live.
This is Auction House Live.
That's right.
Tuning in, Kyle, Training Man, Phil,
Stick Shift.
Just trying to have some fun, you know.
Just trying to have some fun on this Thursday afternoon covering Ring Trailer auctions. We're up to 19,250, and we have Spider 2000 chiming in saying he's watched the prices of these
closer
for
to
many
25,
years.
100%.
Yeah, my estimation was 23 to 25 Spider 2000. I assume that means he drives an S2000. He's a Spidey man.
Spidey man.
But yeah, so I think we have quite a bit of ways to go. I think, like Kyle and I said, this is just going to go up in $250 increments. Yep. And unless there's a guy who this is his car, right? He wants a Suzuka Blue. He's been searching for months on his hardtop. It's within his mileage range. Then he'll throw out a $3,000 bid and just get it up there and get these guys who are bidding $250 away.
I think we should switch over to the STI and just go back and forth.
Yeah, totally.
We've got this covered. People will be watching the end of that. So
looks like did another bid just come in?
I don't know.
Going live.
Man, I love this STI. Yep. That mouse is freaking kind of shit.
Yeah, we need to get another mouse. So this is a 2006 WRX STI. I believe, what is this, a Generation 3 Impreza? This is the quintessential, the best body style, I think, undoubtedly for the Impreza, the STI, the Hawkeye. Early 2000s, late 90s into early 2000s, we had the Bug Eye, then we went into the Hawkeye, and then we had the Hatch generation after that, right?
Yep. I hate that they got rid of the hatch, by the way.
Yeah, the hatch. Them doing away with the hatch and the wagon, not the best move. But this has 35,000 miles. It's sitting at 21,000 with 7 minutes to go. This is a Hawkeye WRX S2000 with the 2.5 liter flat four that has been.
How many years now? Literally 15.
15. Same engine. Same block. This is a GD chassis STI, and this 2.5 has just been in the STI and the WRX platform forever. I'm so bored of it, but if I was gonna go WRX or STI, it would be Hawkeye at this point.
So, what I really like about this car here is two things. One, this exact car is what got me into cars as a whole when I was like 12 years old. I saw a blue Hawkeye STI with gold BBS wheels, and I said I need to have it. Unfortunately, I didn't have the funds to get the STI, so I drove.
Also like 13.
Yeah, but I drove WRX for a couple years, and I love that. But like seeing this thing, this would be my car. 10 years from now, I would be bidding. I want one of these in my garage. This has 36,000 miles. I would pay high 20s. I'd pay 30 grand all day to have this in my garage, in unmolested stock. Like, I think this is just such an iconic car.
Yeah, I mean the exterior is blue pearl. It's the classic Subaru blue, right? And then you go into the inside and you have the suede seats with the STI.
I love that
moniker right in the center of it. It's if you're gonna get a Subaru and you've been a Subaru fanboy or fangirl forever, this is the one, right?
Oh yeah.
These cars ran the World Rally Circuit. I think this is undoubtedly the best looking Impreza. They've always been little bit funky. The Subaru drivers are a unique breed in and of themselves.
What are you saying about me?
You can see right there we have the top mount STI intercooler, Boxster engine with the opposing cylinders, right, to keep the weight of the engine nice and low in the chassis.
And you get that Boxster rumble.
You get that Boxster, especially if you put uneven headers on it, right?
It comes that's stock. That's stock. Unequal headers are stock. That's how you get the Subi rumble. You put an exhaust on there, and it's even more lively. But some people do equal length headers. They get rid of the rumble.
Performance benefits, probably.
Not a ton, though.
Not a ton.
I'd say like 10, 20 horsepower. If you're trying to build the shit out of it, yeah. Okay. People build these things to 700 wheel horsepower. Yeah. They throw huge turbos in there, but that's what I wanted to do. If I got one of these, I just said I would keep it stock.
I think there's an argument for both, right? You know, if it's your Halo car, a car that got you into cars, something that you've been wanting, right? Clean. And it's this clean, you might want to keep this stock, right? Just because it's such a gorgeous car. It's a preservation unit at this stage, right? But if you want to build the shit out of something, I would go for something that's not as perfect, not as nice, right? Especially if you're putting forged pistons and rods in. You don't need a 30,000 mile car.
But what if you want the look of one? That's
right.
That was me. I was like,
if you want the ultimate, right? If you want aesthetics, clean paint, everything,
with just a super clean engine bay with 500 horsepower,
then maybe, yeah. But we're gonna be shuffling between this 2006 Impreza WRX STI and the 2004 Honda S2000. We're keeping it JDM today.
Yeah, we are.
Shout out to our
friends
over
wrong,
in Japan.
Right?
You can't go wrong. So we're up to 2250 on this AP2 2004 Honda S2000.
Oh wow.
We're just going up in 250 increments.
Tiger said hardware in the hardtop is 3,500 value.
Alone, right?
I had said 15 to 2, so I'm not too familiar with what the hardtop used market is with S2Ks, but $3,500, like, that's something to factor in.
We're 25 seconds away from this going for 22,250.
And this has got
for 2250, excuse me.
There's no way.
There's no way. I mean, someone else is gonna bid, I think. If not, the seller really shot himself for disclosing that.
But the thing is the beauty of Bring a Trailer is the seller seems to be pretty content that reserve was met because he posted about it.
There we go. It's sold. It's gone.
Sold. Man, 20,250 for.
So subtract 3,500 from that, right?
Wow.
This guy stole that car.
Yep.
Stole that car.
I agree.
I think price estimations based on the comments.
That is a deal.
We're 23 to 25. A lot of people, holding closer to 25. This went for 5,000 under that.
Hey.
And Ben's guy 55 bought it. And
diversified.
Godoplex just commented he just diversified his. I agree. He definitely does diversify his portfolio.
Oh, I guess he must have more than one S2K.
Oh.
Let's hop over to the STI though.
We're gonna hop over to the STI
back over there. Let's go through the gallery a little bit.
Yeah, let's go through. These are really, the seller did an excellent job with the photos. I like the woods theme, right? Yep. I feel like every Subaru owner is.
And going back to the tint, go to the left one. Looks amazing.
Right.
I think that looks amazing. You have matching tints. It's so clean.
I love the yellow/gold calibers.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know how to. It's like a darker gold.
Yeah.
It really looks nice with the wheels.
Xenon Hawkeye headlights that are just, so that just make this car such an icon. Right there. It's, We have bids coming in for this right now. Those gold BBS wheels.
We're at 23 grand.
We're at 23 grand for this STI. I love the double wing setup. I just think that's so crazy. You have a wing on top of the rear window, and then you just have one of the largest wings ever fitted. I think
this is like sort of touching on what we talked about yesterday. Is this gonna be a garage queen for the next owner?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you buy a 36,000 mile STI and beat the shit out of it. To be honest.
I don't think this thing will ever be, completely beaten the shit out of,
But it'll be driven, right?
Yeah. I think, you have to. With your WRX, when you saw a gravel road, you didn't lift, right? This guy's going to be lifting or avoiding those gravel roads. I think this is going to be a street-driven STI.
Clear bra the front.
And it checks every box. It has gold wheels. It has the blue suede with the STI monikers in the sports performance seats.
Another awesome thing is if none of you watching have owned a Subaru and you're looking to purchase one, looking to maybe learn how to work on your own car, this is the perfect one to do it.
Yeah.
It's like this, the S2K, Miatas, any of these type of cars. If you're learning or looking to learn how to do some of your own work, like these are like Legos. Subarus, they love 10mm bolts. Mm-hmm. They're super easy to figure out. That's a cool shot. That is a sick shot.
Yeah. I love how they have the STI logo right there on the top mount intercooler. A lot of people do front mounts on these, right?
Yeah, they do. Once you get over a certain horsepower. What I was bummed is like the STI comes with this big ass intercooler. Yep. But WRX is the same year.
Yeah.
It's like the same exact motor, pretty much.
Right. They say the STIs contain all the things that basically would be impossible for someone to put in the WRX aftermarket, right? So you have the 6-speed, you have upgraded suspension, you have bigger intercoolers. I think you have a little bit of a revised turbo, maybe.
I can't remember.
Some internals are different.
There's something.
I think it's just all the stuff that's super specific and would be absolutely impossible without doing a swap of sorts is what gives the STI the price increase.
There's a
diff.
The diff good. That's This thing is clean.
Really, really clean. A couple blemishes he pointed out, but
this isn't a show.
It's not a show car. It has an aftermarket head unit in it.
I like that.
Probably with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay.
You might have a backup cam.
Yep. You have stainless steel or aluminum pedals, spaced really nicely for heel towing. It looks really, really clean in there. No dry rot on any of the hoses or belts. Even the front bumper, usually on Subarus, the front bumper, yours,
was ruined.
It looked like it had been sandblasted just because these owners, they drive them skiing, they drive them on gravel. They're rally cars. They're meant to be driven, right, in adverse environments. And typically the front bumper takes the grunt of that, and same with the underbody. But here, nope.
So for those of you just joining, this is Auction House Live. We're going over some of these Bring a Trailer cars that are ending today. Discussing what we like about them, maybe some things we don't like. We're trying to educate any of you viewers who might be looking to learn something, and potential bidders too.
Yep.
Looks like alignment.
Professional alignment rack. So this is fresh and ready to go.
And if there's anything that you guys want to see, any cars you want us to cover, please let us know in the comments. Throw a subscription to our YouTube channel. We're already up to 12 subscribers after our first stream yesterday. Yeah. So that's why we're back today. We know you guys were enjoying this. We're planning to be back tomorrow too. We've upped our set a little bit. We're enjoying this.
Yep. So if you're just tuning in, we're covering this 2006 WRX STI, and this is a Hawkeye, Kyle and I's favorite generation of Impreza. And this is sold out of Beaufort, Georgia by Mr. Steele. This is his first auction. He's a new seller. He's been a member since February 2019, probably when he submitted the STI. I wish his
name was Mr. Steal Yo Girl.
He should revise his name.
Yeah.
Close, but no cigar for that one. This is a GD chassis STI. Has the infamous 2.5 liter Subaru WRX engine that hasn't changed forever. 17-inch gold BBS wheels, which are quintessential STI. It looks like he had new tires installed. Coopers. I've heard of Coopers typically as all-season SUV tires. I think I had them on a 4Runner once, but I don't know, the Xeon. If any of you guys have that experience with Cooper summer performance tires, please let us know.
Throw it in the comments.
I've
never
not,
really
not familiar with that. I know this has the stock Brembos. He put new pads in it, upgraded to stainless steel lines,
Huge.
which I really
That's huge.
Really like to see.
It's huge.
We have.
All right, no way is this ending at 23,750.
Woo! Wow.
What?
Let's see if we hit
Sold.
Reserve. Sold.
WRX on the Apex.
Wow. Let's check out the buyer here, everyone. WRX on the Apex.
Wow, dude.
He just bought this Hawkeye for $23,750. I think that's a great deal.
He just joined.
For this car. Got it. I think Kyle's gonna wish him a congratulations now.
Yeah, I'm so shit.
This thing is ready to go. Fresh tires, fresh alignment. So we just saw 2 JDM cars go for prices way under what we expected. We were commenting on an AP2 S2000 finished in Suzuka Blue with 57,000 miles, and that closed for a tick over 20. And this GD generation STI just closed for a tick under 24. So
2 cars going for pretty good price.
2 cars down, two Japanese cars down, and both sold for way under our expectation. And I think, I know the seller of the AP2 was happy, the buyer of the AP2 was happy. I wonder what the seller of this STI's opinion is, but I'm sure WRX on the Apex is happy. He just joined for this, and he got it. So if you just joined us, this is Auction House Live. We're reporting on Bring a Trailer Auctions. This is our second live stream, and we provide commentary to these auctions.
Any viewers, yeah.
And pick out cars that we enjoy and we think our viewers are going to enjoy as well. So right now we're going to hop into this S197 2008 Ford Mustang Roush 427R track pack.
Ooh, what's on the track pack?
So my favorite S197 Mustang is the Boss 302. I know Celine had a lot of offerings for this generation, and for every generation of Mustang, S550 is the newest, and Celine and Roush are still getting busy with those. But the 427R track pack is, Roush's upgrades on the S197 to basically optimize it for the track. Has a fat blower on it. This is one of 100 cars Roush did. Limited slip differential.
What's the power on this baby?
Finish in performance white. We're going to scroll down to the engine. You can see that Roush blower on that 4.6 liter V8. I know the Celine S197 that sold a couple of days ago, it was a yellow label Celine. That was that had a blower on the 5 liter. This is on the 4.6. And it was rated at 435 and 400. I think there's room on the table.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be at least 500.
Oh yeah, I think there's a lot of room on the table for this engine. Looks like it has an ECU tune, exhaust system, upgraded radiator, power sent to the rear wheels via limited slip diff that's aftermarket as well. As everyone knows, the S197s have a live rear axle, not an independent rear suspension. That was something that was added on the S550 Mustangs. So, they could get a little hairy, especially if you're going through a corner.
Matt's asking if we specialize in particular make. We don't, not in one particular make. Phil and I are both more German performance.
But, we appreciate JDM, we appreciate American.
I appreciate any car really that's on Bring a Trailer, but just in terms of my knowledge, there's a lot of cars that were listed today that I know nothing about, and I would hate to be putting out incorrect information. So we don't specialize in a particular make. We love Mercedes. We love BMW.
Audi. We have a C5 RS6 right behind us that Kyle's hitting that we owned. Thing I don't like about the S197 is the interior.
Yeah, it looks...
I'm not a fan of the wheel. I've spent a little bit of time in an S197. Actually drove one from Ohio to New Jersey.
What's up, Elevated Off-Road? Glad you're back. We took your advice yesterday. I don't know if you noticed a little something different in the background here. But yeah, I'm glad you're back. Glad you guys have tuned in for a second day, and we're covering this Mustang.
Yep.
We've got a minute left. It's at 10 grand.
Yep.
Do you think it's hit reserve?
No.
No chance.
I don't.
I wanna see some bids.
I think it's gonna get bid up for sure. This is an S197 Roush Mustang 427R track pack. It has 39,000 miles. It has a blown 4.6 liter V8. A lot of supporting mods that the seller did on top of this. Has huge 6-piston front brakes, performance exhaust system, upgraded sway bars, I believe. Lightweight wheels. Looks like a revised front bumper. It has a Roush, decal pack and a fat rear wing. And we're 16 seconds out.
Oh, this is cool. Oh, we're 16 seconds out. But I'm just reading the comments here, and it looks like this owner purchased the car from somebody who, basically the car. Oh man, it's gonna end. Yeah, that's a bummer.
Reserve not met at 10,000. I mean,
yeah. So just looking, this car has an accident on the Carfax.
Okay.
The current buyer purchased it from somebody who had no idea what happened to the car, and it looks like this gentleman, MKS roommate, was the previous owner.
Yep.
Who had the car when there was an accident.
So there's a bit of a hazy pass.
There is a hazy pass.
Is what you're
this
saying.
Was an upvoted comment. And he starts it off. I feel bad to say anything, but not to mention, and I feel like a jerk. So that definitely had an effect on this price.
So I think the reason this car didn't hit reserve is for a variety of options. One, it's the 4.6. It's not as desirable as the 5 liter, right? It never will be. Secondly, very hazy path. Has an accident on the Carfax. You have previous owners chiming in. People don't know if that is the previous owner, if that's the seller on a shell account, whatever.
Who knows?
We don't know who it is. But I mean, I think it's safe to say that Bring a Trailer can sometimes be really, really tough on American cars.
I totally agree.
Not so much classics. I think there's a huge demand for classic American cars, but when we're looking at C5, C6 Corvettes, S197 Mustangs, right? We're looking at Vipers. I think these cars take a little bit of a hit on
But
the
do
site.
they take a hit on the site, or
are they overvalued as a whole?
Or, yeah, like, I don't know.
Are
they getting the numbers that are much higher outside of Bring a Trailer?
I mean...
Is it that... I mean, I feel like a lot of Bring a Trailer audience is more...
I think everyone points out, especially in the comments, is Bring a Trailer is
Bring a Porsche.
Is Bring a Porsche or Bring a German, right? It's scaled or leaned heavily into German cars. But, I mean... I like seeing a nice, clean S197 Mustang or a C5 Z06 or Viper GTS or ACR.
Yeah.
I think we all do, right? So that closed. That didn't hit reserve. That's the third auction we've covered here on Auction House Live. We're scrolling through. I think the next car we're going to cover is this 1995 3000 GT Spider VR4.
Probably the last one of the day for me.
Probably the last one of the day. Also, we might talk a little bit about this Mazda Speed Miata because I've owned 3 NB Miatas in the past, 3 months? I've owned a 99, an NB1, an 02, an NB2, and then right now a Mazda Speed.
Maybe we're just selling them. I don't know.
So maybe we'll talk a little bit about that one. But should we hop into the 3000?
So we've got 8 people here today. Do any of you guys want to see any cars, especially for tomorrow? Because we're probably going to end in the next 20 to 30 minutes here. But for tomorrow, is there anything that you guys want to see, want us to cover that's ending on Bring a Trailer?
Yeah.
Let us know.
So this car is in Caracas Red. It's one of only 1,000 hardtop convertibles. I think that's why it's been sitting at 20 for a couple of days. There's a lot of things to like about this 3000 GT. For those not familiar with 3000 GT, VR4 means it's a turbo. This is a hardtop convertible, right? So it's only one of 1,000. It's in Caracas Red, which is, you can't go wrong with that color. And this has had a ton of recent maintenance. We're talking about a new timing belt and water pump, which is kind of the big maintenance item on these cars. I'm not particularly a fan of the looks.
No.
Especially of the hardtop convertible. I think it looks a little bit like a Monte Carlo almost.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
This is like right. We're looking at a truck bed here. It just flattens out completely. So I'm not a huge fan of the VR4s. I understand the significance of these cars, the 3000 GTs and the Stealths. And I respect them. I don't think that I would go with the hardtop Spider, but I totally understand if you were growing up in or teenager in the mid-90s and
this could be your version of my STI when I was a teenager.
Totally.
So
and the thing about the Spider model, like they mentioned here, which is pretty well known, is that it contains additional chassis stiffening. Especially with the VR4 with the turbo, you need that extra stiffening because it is a higher power 3000 GT.
We just want to post here for Auction House Live, let everyone know that we are live. We've upgraded the set. I've got the chat here to the right on my computer, and we're just kind of having some fun.
Yeah, we are, totally. We're discussing this 27k mile 1995 3000 GT as Kyle posts that story. Recent service done. Not a big fan of the looks. The interior looks so minty. Usually
it does.
You see on these 90s, especially the JDM cars, that the leather seats get really, really worn down. But these look like they're really, really nice. This is gray upholstery. Says there's somewhere on the outer side of the bolster, but that's so minor relative to the other cars of this era. If it were me, I'd rip that steering wheel right out and put a nicer one in, an aftermarket unit.
That's a clean engine bay, though.
Yeah. Only 1,400 miles driven by the seller. This is a transverse mounted engine, as you can see. It's a 3-liter V6, dual overhead cam, and it has a turbo. 2 of them, actually.
2.
So it's a pretty rare VR4, only 1,000 made in Caracas red. Here's the recent service. Let's see what the timing belt and water pump set it back. That was just under $1,400.
There you go.
So preventative maintenance done recently.
Yeah.
The guy drove it for 1,400 miles and put $1,400 into it. So $1 a mile for him, depending upon how much he gets out of it for. Short-term ownership on this one. Let me check. It's a 3-owner. Last owner registered it in 2019 and has had it for a month. So I'm not sure if that's a Carfax error or what. We're going to enter the gallery of this 27k mile 1995 3000 GT and see what we got here. So classic 3000 GT front fascia with the kind of like the pod-like headlights that are sectioned off by a decal. I think it's a really good looking front end, but it kind of loses my attention as we hit this angle and any angle that really accentuates the flatness of the deck lid and how large it is isn't really my preference. I really like the 5-spoke wheels. What do you think of those?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I could use another inch.
Another inch. Sounds like our...
What are those what, 17?
Our roommate...
Mark 7 Midnight MK7 GTI
is rolling up, so we're going to have him in the stream in a little bit. There's a Spider VR4 logo. The hardtop convertible looks good. It looks like the top mechanisms are working great. Only 27,000 miles on this.
That's really clean, though. Like, look at the...
Trying to see a date code on this tire.
Yeah.
2012 date codes, so... From what I can see, these tires have 2012 date codes, so...
I didn't know this was... Did you mention the 4-wheel steering?
Yeah, 4-wheel. One of the first cars to have 4-wheel steering.
Elevated Off-Road here is just saying he always felt the VR4 performance-wise deserved to appreciate. Similarly to its other 90s era brethren, the 4-wheel steering was trick for its day. Totally. I didn't even know it had 4-wheel steering.
Yeah,
that is
one of the notable features of the 3000 GTs was the 4-wheel steering, and we see that in cars today. 991 GT3 and RS.
8 meter, there we go.
One of the best performing German cars today has the same technology as this 1994, which is crazy. Aventadors have it. Aventador S, SV, and SVJs all have 4-wheel steer. The VW Audi group loves it today.
Yeah. Again, this is for anybody that's joining. We've got 6 of us in here. Auction House Live. We're just going over Bring a Trailer cars, winding down here. If you guys are enjoying this, throw us a like
or subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel. I know we've got a couple guys. We have Matt C, Racer Boy, Elevated Off Road. We're all in here yesterday.
Let's ask Racer Boy. What's your name so we don't have to call you Racer Boy every time? You know, he's been in the chat. He's a pioneer.
I could call him R.
We could just call him R.
R221.
R2221. So we're looking at this 3000 GT VR4.
Excuse the any noise you guys might be hearing. Just one of our roommates is coming home, so.
There he is. What's going on?
What's up?
Are you guys actually recording?
Yeah, we're on the live stream. We're in the studio right now.
All right, so what do we got left here? We've got
looking at the original window sticker, $65,000.
25 people yesterday.
For this car.
Yeah, like 8 right now.
3 owner.
Did you guys move like a bunch of stuff in here? Or
Yeah. In a box. We put it in a box.
Okay,
so.
cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You gotta move the couch on the lawn.
Oh, it's
They
listed
get
for free.
mad for
Oh,
that.
they do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think we can put it like on the street, but it can't be like if they see it on the property, they'll be like.
All right, we're back, folks. Sorry about that interruption. We're going back in. This is Auction House Live. We're covering this 3000 GT VR4, 27,000 miles. There's 8 minutes on the clock for this VR4.
What do we think this is going for? 21? I know absolutely nothing about the VR4.
Well, why don't you look up comparables right now? I think high 20s, low 30s for this guy, especially it's one of 1,000 3000 GT Spiders and VR4, right?
Yep.
Hardtop convertible, twin turbocharged 3-liter. It's a good looking car. For those who like 3000 GTs, for Kyle and I, not the biggest fans of the styling, especially if you're looking at this shot right now. Kind of the rear quarter shot really accentuates the top deck lid.
All right, I guess we're getting there. We had a one owner with 33,000 sell for 23 grand a month ago.
Yep.
We've got an 8,000 mile and 93 in black that sold for 22.3. One owner 97 20,000 mile sold for 42.
Yep.
So I think that one is the winner, and then we've got another one here, 25,000 mile Spider. That sold for 36.
So we're far off, I think.
No, this is the same thing, right? This is yeah.
We're at 25.
We're far off on this auction for
I
sure.
think we're far off reserve. We have 7 minutes to go. We're looking at a 27K mile 1995 3000 GT for those who have just tuned into Auction House Live. This is a VR4 twin turbo 3-liter.
Is it? What are those photos in the? Are those like posters that he?
So these are road
He
and
just
tracks.
kept Road and Track magazine.
And,
that's cool. That's cool.
That are of the era. So
yeah,
you can
that's
see
really
there,
cool.
There's some really cool documentation that comes along with this 3000 GT. Really cool JDM style 5-spoke wheels. And we're sitting at $22,000 with 6 minutes to go. We just had Buckminster Fuck comments. God, I love this car.
What's his
I
name?
wish I was rich instead. So good looking.
I wish I was rich instead of so good looking.
Yeah, instead of so good looking.
Hey, you can be both.
You could be good, both.
You could be neither.
Right. But this car's finished in Caracas red. It's pretty rare for a 3000 GT. I think a lot of these cars have either been modified or, crashed or just haven't survived as well as this. Or taken care of.
It was a Civic.
Right. The seller is super reputable, includes paint meter, and $1,400 service was just completed. One of the biggest maintenance items on these 3000 GTs is the timing belt and water pump. That's been taken care of. This car comes out of Boulder, Colorado. Obviously not driven during the winter.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an interesting place for this baby to
27,000 miles. We're seeing a lot of cars on Bring a Trailer come out of Denver or Boulder.
Well, that E63 was out of Denver yesterday, or was that a different? That was like a couple weeks ago.
I think that was a couple weeks ago. Yeah, out of Denver, we had a black E63S wagon come out of there. But I think if you're looking for, if the 3000 GT is your JDM car, the one that you've been looking at and looking up to since 95.
We've got Mattman. So these are 65 grand in 95, and he did it out for us. He said that equates to 108 grand in 2019.
Wow.
So that's a lot of cash.
That's a lot of cash for a Mitsubishi at the end of the day.
Mattman, what do you think of this thing? Do you like the VR4s?
Yeah, Mattman, let us know what you think of this. There's the window sticker right there, 65,000. Let's take a closer look of that in the gallery and just see the factory specific options this 3000 GT VR4 is fitted with. That's the service record for the timing belt and water pump I was just referring to. So this, I'm not sure that it has any no options. I just think
none.
This is one of the cars that one of those cars where it's a high performance turbo sports car, and it just comes included with everything. That's how a lot of the Japanese manufacturers structure it. As you can see here, 6-speed manual. Talks about the 4-wheel steering, which was pretty pioneering for that time. Kyle and I mentioned before, it's in supercars of today. Namely, the 991 GT3s have it. Those are 17-inch 5-spoke chrome alloys that come from the factory. Let's take a look at the underbody of this Colorado 3000 GT. Looks
pretty
good.
solid.
I mean, this is a 94. Bear in mind.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty solid for a 94.
I mean,
25 years.
You have some slight surface oxidation there on a couple. It looks like maybe on the downpipes, but nothing major, right? All. The control arms look good. The bushings from here look great. Drive line's clean. Drive shaft looks good. Gas tank. Yeah, I mean.
Is it still at 20? We still at 22?
I think we're still sitting at 22. This auction's about to end, but 3 minutes ago. It's a sleepy one. Last auction
today's been a sleepy day.
Foot. Yeah, we've been covering JDM cars today. We covered the AP2 S2000. Then we covered, what was it? The Hawkeye STI.
Yeah.
Both went significantly under what we were anticipating. The AP2 S2000 owner stated that his reserve had been met. So I think that hurt his auction a little bit. And then the STI just went for a great price for the seller. A tick under 24,000 for that STI, and a tick above 20,000 for that AP2 S2000. But right now we're looking at the 1995 3000 GT, finished in Caracas red, one of only around 1,000 of these. We're going to be covering this car, which ends in about 2 minutes, and then we're going to hop on over to the Mazda Speed Miata, and that will be it for today before our live stream tomorrow. Which we're really excited for. We're a minute 54 away. At this price, there's no chance this car is hitting reserve.
I don't think so.
It's just not happening, right?
It's a bummer.
Yeah, it is.
That's a bummer. Yeah.
Wow, I never realized
Willie got in either.
Yeah. One of our viewers did it out, Rackman Willie. Oh, here we go.
Oh, no. All right.
$1,300 and $232 bid, or $1,232 bid by Steve Ho. coming in right now, adding another minute 30 to this auction.
Elevated Off-Road. It's honestly not a pain to change my name, and I think we're actually just going to make an Auction House Live account.
Yep.
Bring a Trailer, you were in the chat yesterday when Bring a Trailer was in there.
Yep.
So they clearly know and like approve of what we're doing because they allow us to post the links. They must think that it's pretty cool. So maybe for tomorrow's stream, I'll have a new Bring a Trailer account.
Also, tell them what our dealer account is so you can check us out there.
Yeah, if you guys want to check out our dealer account, Phil and I do own a performance dealership. We've sold cars on Bring a Trailer. Our dealer account is Michael Orman. So we've sold. What do we sell through Michael Orman on there?
We just sold 2 NB Miatas. We've sold an SLK 55 AMG.
I'll put it in the chat here for you guys if you want
to. Yeah.
There we go.
We've sold about, I think we're up to 7 or 8 cars on our dealer account, and then we also sold 29,000 mile Mugello Blue RS6 through Bring a Trailer as well. If you guys want to check us out there, we're up to 23.5 on this 1995 Mitsubishi 3000 GT Spider VR4, all-wheel drive, twin turbo, 3-liter.
Wonder what do you think?
All-wheel steering.
What does this do with
Spider.
the tune? What do you think it does with the tune?
I don't know if there is.
Can you
I don't
tune
think there is
these?
a tune for a 94 or 95 3000 GT. I think it's a chip.
A
back
chip?
then.
Oh yeah.
I think you chip these. I don't think you.
I forgot. That's what the oldies are like. Oh, you chip your car?
Right.
Yeah,
right,
I chipped my Beamer.
I mean, it could be some of those guys watching right now.
Hey, I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying we're young guns.
Right, and I also don't think you tune a car like this. It's 27,000 miles.
Probably not.
One of 1,000. There's that transverse mounted V6 with the twin turbos. I almost bought a 95 3000 GT that wasn't a VR4. It's pretty slow. It was a gorgeous car with 50,000 miles finished in white. For me, I would go 3000 GT VR4, but Spider isn't my forte. Specifically, this rear quarter angle. I think the deck lid is a little bit too long. And I know Mitsubishi claimed that they increased chassis stiffness, but I'm a coupe kind of guy, and I think if you're going for a 3000 GT, then
you're not a drop top kind of guy.
No, you should go for a coupe. But I think a lot of guys think these Spiders are the way to go. Listen to that 3-liter V6 with the top down.
I wonder how those
quite
sound.
a benefit. But right now we have 19 seconds to go. This car has been bid up to 23.5. Clean Carfax, 2 or 3 previous owners. We're 10 seconds out.
We've got.
I don't think this is any reserve.
There's got to be a last second. Come on. No.
Nope.
Wow.
If this sells, I will be shocked. Nope.
All right. Yeah.
So this car, I think, was valued what we said around mid to high 30s.
Yeah, no, we like high 20s, low 30s,
High
like
20s?
28 to 33.
Okay. So
We've got Midnight MK7 in the chat. You guys have been here for the stream yesterday and today. You know that we live with Midnight MK7.
Yep.
So he's a big Access Port fan. He wanted to try to put an Access Port in his GTI, but I don't think
he had the cojones to
yeah,
do so.
he's still rocking it without a tune, so that's pretty lame.
Yeah, you guys should bash him in the comments right now.
Hey Matt Man, Elevated, if you guys are in there, give Midnight a little like thumbs down or something.
Yeah.
Show him like this ain't.
So we're doing JDM only today on Auction House Live, and right now we're gonna move over to a 27,000 mile 2004 Mazda Speed Miata. Right now I'm gonna look at the results for today. We're gonna go through that because we're still 27 minutes out. So we're just gonna scan these. We actually didn't do JDM only today. We hopped into this S197 Roush Mustang. Didn't meet reserve.
Nope. Well, we had some
issues with that car. Bit of a hazy pass, right?
Yeah.
This car, no reserve. SCI stolen. AP2S
Absolutely
2000 stolen. A good day to buy a car. Would you say, Chad?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wish that I was 5 years older with $100,000 more in my bank account because that STI would be sitting in my garage next week. Yeah, for 23 grand. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm. So here's another Celine Mustang, same year. This was an 08. This didn't have the aero upgrades. or the Hazy Past, and this one sold for $23,000. We saw
the
today.
drop head roller.
Drop head Rolls Phantom Coupe. I think that is an absolute. It looks like aftermarket wheels, which I'm not a fan
They
of.
came with the stock wheels though.
Oh, it came with stock wheels.
Yeah, the owner said he bought those immediately when he bought the car. Has the stock wheels.
That's cool. I mean, $130,000 for a Rolls Royce drop top coupe that was probably pushing $400 new, if not more. All handmade by Rolls. Black on top of like oxblood red interior. I think $132,000 for that car. That seller is, or that buyer is very happy. And then we also touched a little bit earlier on in the stream on the 1994 FD RX-7 total garage queen collector's car. That one down here in the right corner sold for $70,000. Basically untouched. I'm not sure. They say if you're buying an FD, always get a compression test done, folks. I'm not sure if that needed it given the low mileage. I know apex seals weren't done. Just simply spark plugs and oil were done in that FD. But right now we're going to go back up to that Mazda Speed Miata. Personally, I would say you get... This might be a little controversial, but I've owned MB1, MB2, and a Mazda Speed Miata. Driven all three of them quite a lot. And I've also driven and owned an AP2 S2000. I think you get about 90 to 95% of an S2000 in a Mazda Speed Miata. Maybe not the looks.
I've never driven a Mazda Speed.
Okay.
You have.
Not the looks, but in terms of feel, power, reliability, I it's the ultimate Miata for me. I think a lot of opinions differ on that. And I think it drives pretty similar to an S2000 with that turbo. It's not VTEC. It doesn't rev to 8,000 RPM. I think that's what the AB2 revs to.
Yep.
But it revs to 6,700, and
how's the turbo feel?
And the turbo kicks on very hard at 3,800. So that it's kind of like that it's a turbo, right? But it's kind of like.
But like I said, the VTEC almost feels like a turbo that just starts at 6,500.
Yeah. And these cars right now, I think they're on their way to appreciate. They only made 4,000.
Yeah, 4,000
for 2004, and then 1,500 in 05, because sadly enough, they're planning to do 4,000 and 4,000, and then in 2005, the Mazda Speed factory, I shouldn't be laughing, but it actually burnt to the ground. So they only fulfilled about 1,500 of those cars. So there's only 5,500 of these worldwide. They only did 2 colors for 2004, Velocity Red and then Titanium Gray.
Yeah, Titanium Gray, Mazda Speed Miata, hint, might be coming up. You never know.
Never know. So this one, like I said, Velocity Red Mika, 27,000 miles. These come with the 6-speed. A lot of people aren't fans of the 6-speed. They prefer the 5-speed. They say the 6-speed is a little bit hard to find. Fourth and fifth are the harder gears to find in these Mazda Speed Miatas. But the seller has added just 3,500 miles during his ownership. The Velocity Red looks really, really nice. It's a super metallic-y color. It's not so much showing up on here, but it is. You can see here the baby intercooler. See that?
Oh yeah.
Flying Miata. It has.
You gotta get a little larger intercooler.
Yeah.
Spice it up. Give it another 20 wheel horsepower would make quite a difference, I'd say, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you said it's fun. So
yeah. So Flying Miata has the biggest aftermarket support for these.
Yeah.
So their package offers, I think for around $2,200, you get a front mount intercooler, an intake, and downpipes, and you're at 200 wheel at 2,300 pounds.
Pretty solid.
So it's pretty solid. But we're 20 minutes out. We're sitting at 9,600. I think this should go for 14 to 15.
9,700.
These cars are going to start appreciating. They have to. There's limited production numbers, and I don't think people realize how good they are to drive. Has the Racing Heart 17-inch wheels, which look absolutely massive on a Miata.
Yeah,
it's kind
they
of
look
funny.
Aftermarket.
They look totally aftermarket, but they're not. One of the cool things about this, I've spent a little bit of time under one because I was working on it. Huge chassis stiffening.
Oh yeah.
Like massive X braces underneath it, completely different from like a base MB. And then it has stock Bilstein coilovers, and then it has the suede two-tone seats, which I really like. I think it's a little too much red. If I was gonna go for one of these, I think the best spec isn't leather. It's these seats, which are the suede seats, but titanium gray all day. I don't know if you agree with that.
100%. I just don't like red cars.
Yeah,
period, though.
I think they're too flashy. But this red specifically,
Unless it's a Rari.
I
would drive a 488.
I personally think if you're gonna get into a Ferrari, that go for a color that's not red.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
But it's like the classic color.
It is the classic color, and I think there's.
I could do a white.
Yeah.
But yeah, red's not. There's a lot of red going on here. Let's just say that.
So yeah, like I said, 17-inch Racing Heart alloy wheels. Kyle said that they look aftermarket, and they contracted an aftermarket manufacturer to make them. There you can see Redline's set at about 6,500. I think you can rev it to around 67 and be fine. There's all the plumbing underneath the hood. Slight tint on the head and headlights and taillights, but it's a 1.8 turbo, and it produces 178 from factory, which doesn't seem like a lot, but we're talking about a 2,300 pound car.
Still got 20 freaking minutes though.
Yeah. Why don't you walk us through these photos? What do you think?
I think it looks like a little bit of a larger Miata with aftermarket wheels.
Yep.
And I think they look awesome. I just don't like the red that much. And I think the chrome wheels contrasted with that red, like,
yep.
I don't love it. Okay. I think if you had a darker color,
yep.
It might be a little different.
Yeah. Typically, you see here, something I really like about this car is having spent some time around 3 Miatas recently is, so the license plate bracket attaches under the bumper, which is great, but the bolts of the license plate flex into the bumper. So on a ton of Miatas, you'll see divots, 2 divots right here from the back of the plate bolts. Just from, because the mount is like it's a 90-degree angle, so it tucks in underneath the bumper and angles up, and the plate will flex back when you're accelerating. So
this guy's probably rocking no plate.
He's rocking no plate in Texas, so that's one of the cleanest front bumpers I've seen on an MB, which looks really, really nice. Love that. That's factory.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it's really. So I think there's 17 different Mazda Speed monikers around the car, which is kind of crazy. These really benefit from a brake upgrade, and doing some Flying Miata aftermarket parts really livens them up. This car looks exceptionally clean. Only 27,000 miles. We just got a bid on it. Hopefully it's one of our viewers.
97. No, we're at 9,700 still.
Oh, we're at 9,700? Huh.
That's what mine's saying. Maybe
Are we lagging? No, we're at 10.5, folks, on this 2004 Mazda Speed Miata. Did you post the link?
No. You want me to now?
Yeah, so we're 17 minutes out. We're covering this. And this is going to be our last car of the day. We're going to hop on again tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a great lineup of cars as well. If you want to see us cover any cars on Auction House Live, just comment right now in the stream. But right now we're covering this 04 NB2 Mazda Speed Miata.
They're quick,
agile, and super responsive. One of my favorite Miatas right there. So Kyle's posting a link in the Bring a Trailer thread.
Maybe our roommate, Midnight MK7 GTI, he's also a pretty big car guy, and as we mentioned yesterday, we're trying to do some guests on the show. So maybe we'll get him on the show in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
Talk about. Maybe we can find some cars that he likes.
We can talk about GTIs.
Yeah, we could talk about GTIs and Audis. Oh yeah, he's actually looking to sell his GTI and get into an Audi, so that could be a little point of convo, you know.
Totally.
We could branch out. We don't have to do just bring a trailer. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know. All right, let me just finish posting this here.
See if he has any underbody photos where I could show you guys. See all the chassis supports here. This is completely unique to the Mazda Speed. You have these cross braces, and up front you have a complete X brace that stiffens up the chassis really, really well. To the left of the photo here, you're going to see the Bilstein coilovers. Really, there's just so much in this car. And so much to like about it. And given the S2000 market, I really think limited production, how well these drive, how many extras they have from the factory. These were like $27,000 and $28,000 new, which is so much car for that. Right now they're trading for, with this mileage, I think around 14 to 15. I still think there's room in that to appreciate, especially for low mileage examples. Right now we're sitting at 10.5. Highest bidder is Jaguar 73, and we just posted the link to this live stream. Kyle's gonna get up our live stream on his monitors, see, as we welcome new viewers in. But what's your overall take on this Mazda Speed?
I think it's extremely clean.
Yeah.
Looks well taken care of. It's coming out of Texas, so you know, that's cool. The radio's in the glove box.
Yeah, he put an aftermarket head unit in the glove box.
But you know, coming from Texas, you don't have to worry about underbody rust. And I actually saw the seller noted that there was some rust on the rotors. If you want to go back a couple photos, like that,
that's so
nothing.
minute. You have a little bit on the caliber there, but rotors rust.
Rotors rust. Like all
wheel
types
hubs
of
rust. No matter the car, that doesn't affect valuation at all. There's the little build slip or sticker right there in the.
Oh man, we got a couple big paint chips here.
Yeah.
Oh.
That baby intercooler poking out. I had this car, and a couple people mentioned to me, I can't believe that intercooler's just there with no grate or anything protecting it. But that's how it came from the factory. There's no stainless or aluminum netting on the front bumper. We mentioned this car is extremely clean. 17-inch Racing Heart wheels. You can't see it from here, but on the end of that chrome exhaust tip, it says Mazda Speed on it.
It's a nice little touch.
Yeah, nice little touch. I really think this could use a flying Miata intercooler. I just can't believe how small that factory intercooler is. This one has revised front and rear fascia that are a little bit different than the MB2 generation Miatas. This one has that front that deck spoiler, which I think is kind of cool.
I like it.
Yeah, trunk is roomy enough.
Seller said he got a Z3, I think, or a Z4. That's why he's getting rid of this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, an 06 Z4M Roadster. That's a pretty sweet car.
Yeah, it's a nice little upgrade going from. I'd be curious to see his feelings regarding going from like total Japanese roadster, pretty fast Japanese roadster to a German. But yeah, we're just covering this auction. We have 12 minutes to go. It's sitting at 10.5. We had a previous Mazda Speed last week that was absolutely stolen. I think right now we're still shy of reserve. I think reserve is
1500.
Is probably. I mean, bring a trailer.
Maybe 11. They're.
I think 12.
12
is probably where the reserve is set at this. I mean, it all depends on the seller, and having been through the bring a trailer process, they negotiate quite a bit with the seller regarding reserve, always trying to get it down because obviously they need to get the commission off of the car. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was set around 11, but I still think they would have accepted it if the private seller said I really need a $12,000 reserve.
Yep.
But we are sitting. We have 11 minutes left. Here you can see production numbers for this Mazda Speed Miata 4000.
Yeah. See. So okay.
Half of which
half are painted in this red. So.
Right, and then the other half are in titanium gray. Kyle and I prefer the titanium gray
with like nice what is it?
it's a suede.
Suede
it's
red.
It's almost like original Alcantara. Yeah, the seats on that. Yeah, here it sums it up nicely. I was describing this earlier, that the Mazda Speed department implemented certain chassis modifications. So you have shorter, stiffer rings that were done by Bilstein. You have the factory 17-inch wheels, and on the underbody is an incredible amount of chassis stiffening. I know on a regular Miata, regular NB generation Miata, if you're going to change the oil and trans fluid, you just jack the car up and it's right there. Here, to torque off all of this chassis bracing in the front. Yeah. So it makes it a little bit harder to do fluids, but I think the performance gains are there. We have 10 minutes to go. It's sitting at 10:05. And we have 1 like on our stream.
No, we've got 4 likes in the stream.
No, we on this post here.
A little bit of a quieter stream today, but we weren't
very quiet auction day altogether.
Yeah, we weren't even really planning to stream today, but we decided, hey.
Also, did you see this?
Yep, the bid of $11,000 was canceled by BAT. I've actually never really seen that on BAT.
I've seen that once when some guy, he wanted to bid like 100,000 and bid $1 million.
Oh, jeez. If I was a seller and I saw that, my bird would have been pointing straight up.
Is that right?
Yeah, money just gets me going.
Does it?
Yeah.
So I'm just reading through the comments here. People asking if it's entirely stock. It is, aside from that unit in that head unit in the glove box. I think he added that probably for Bluetooth. What do you think? Carpenter says he bought one of these as a track rat, added conies and better brakes. Too much fun. I know a huge modification for these cars is actually to downsize the wheels. So they come factory with 17-inch. A lot of guys put 15s on there with a fat sidewall and a summer performance tire, and then they do some suspension and stainless lines and pads, and can absolutely rip in the twisties.
Yeah, Matt, I was thinking the same thing. I don't understand how they figured out it was a bad bid. There could be a lot of things. It could have been a bid from maybe a user who has previously bid and not follow through. They could have been banned from Bring a Trailer for a number of reasons. Like, there's a ton of reasons why the bid was canceled.
Yep. I think Bring a Trailer actually shed some light on this, having commented. I thought they did. Oh yeah, the bid was canceled. Here we go. Hello everyone. We have been in contact with the high bidder, and it has become clear they do not intend to honor their bid. So it's been withdrawn as a result.
Like I was just saying, Matt, like anybody that might have bid and not been planning to pay or whatever, maybe it was a mistake.
Personally, I don't think that $11,000 bid would have won.
I hope not.
I hope not. I mean, this car is 27,000 miles. I've seen Mazda Speeds with up to 170,000, still going strong. Huge aftermarket support for these from companies like Flying Miata. A lot of guys actually say this is the best chassis to do a V8 swap into.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. If you're gonna go, and not the best, like if you're looking at all chassis on the market, it's not the best. But if you want to produce a V8 swap Miata, a lot of guys prefer the Mazda Speed version of the NB.
Okay, yeah.
But obviously adding like an LS to this thing would get a little crazy fast, right? But we
get a little heavy in the front, I think.
A little heavy in the front, but if you can set it back and
yeah, maybe just move. Yeah.
Push it back in the chassis as much as possible, right? Center that weight. But we're 6 minutes out. We're sitting at 10.5. I'm hoping to see this Mazda Speed go for 13.5 to 14.5 personally.
I think holding it back might be the color.
Color.
A little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. I think titanium gray with these seats is much preferred. Personally.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little too much red. I prefer the cloth to the leather, the suede to the leather though. But these are cool cars. I think they're super unique. You're not going to see a lot of them. For Miatas, which they've made hundreds of thousands of, being one of 5,000 is pretty nice.
Yes, it is. Well, we were just talking about the VR4. It was 1 of 1,000.
Ooh, easy.
1 of 1,000. And she didn't sell, so.
She didn't sell.
But not it's a pretty slow day. We've got 8 people watching. I'm sure we've got Matt in here. Maybe Elevated Off Road. I wonder if Racer Boy is still here. These guys have been great, giving us feedback.
Supports.
Yeah, feedback in the chat. They were here yesterday. They're here today. Elevated Off Road was like one thing that you could do to legitimize yourself would be get off the dorm room couch, maybe get a nice table, and what do you know? Magically,
once we get our webcam, they'll be able to see the table a little bit more.
Yeah, we're working on that.
We have a 92-inch wood table here. We have a C5 RS6 bi-turbo V8 in the background.
Yep.
What kind of flag is that?
It's a BMW M flag.
There you go.
And actually, I think Elevated, did he say in here? Yeah, it looks great. M Love represent. So Elevated is definitely an M fan. It's a bummer that we haven't had any M cars.
I know. I think we'll have some M cars coming up.
I hope so.
Yeah. But we're sitting at 10.5 here on this 2004 Mazda Speed Miata with 4 minutes to go. I really hope things start to speed up here.
I hope it starts.
We have 513 watchers on this auction. Highest bidder is Jaguar 73.
Let's check out the Jagman.
Let's check out the Jagman a little bit.
The Jag guys are awesome. I love Jag guys. They're characters.
Jaguar.
The Jaguar.
The Jaguar. So he's a newer member since February. Has 2 bids, both recently. We just had another bid come in, thankfully. I think this car
10,750. Okay.
This car should be 13.5 to 14.5.
So let's check out Wanderlust's portfolio.
Yeah, let's check out Wanderlust 99. One of the beautiful things about Bring a Trailer is everyone on the site has a reputation, and that reputation is your comments, your bids, and how many cars you have sold. And this guy has been sitting in the shadows since July of 2017.
Wanderlust, come on out, buddy.
Wanderlust finally came out of the shadows with he's got 2 bids.
No
now.
Comments though.
No comments. He's lurking in the shadows here. And we'll see how it goes for him. I just got a low battery notification, so I'm going to go grab a charger while Tranny Man here handles the stream.
Yeah, we'll handle it. I'm just messing up our photos, but got 3 minutes left. I mean, this is the last one of the day. It's been quiet. I appreciate the 8 of you guys that are in here watching. Again, yesterday we had a great group of people in the chat. We had people subscribing. We had 12 subscribers last night. So if you guys want to hit the subscribe button, we're going to be live probably 3 days a week. But this week we're getting set up. We're learning and having some fun.
The flow down.
Yeah, we're trying to get the flow down. But the most important thing is that we're having fun.
That's true.
Man, this mouse is very laggy.
So we have a laggy mouse we're dealing with. There's 2 minutes and 41 seconds left on this Mazda Speed Miata. I really hope this does get bid up a little bit because these cars are worthy of it. Personally, like I said, I prefer titanium gray over the 2-tone cloth seats. But the Velocity Red is a super metallic color, and there's a following for them. I think it's a really good looking Japanese roadster. The turbo on these complements it really well.
Wonder how big the turbo is, that snail.
It's tough.
Maybe the size of my palm, a little smaller.
Maybe smaller. Yeah.
I'd rip that little guy out and put a big boy right in.
I mean, it's an option. Totally. I'm not sure if you have to do forged internals if you upgrade the turbo.
Yeah, we're supporting mods with a forged. You
Honestly,
definitely have to do fuel. You got to do injectors.
You have to do injectors for sure, but wouldn't you say you would go with the stage 1 package first, which is $2,200 for?
Yeah, I wouldn't put a turbo in.
Right. You do intercooler, intake, and downpipe.
Yeah, because you need it anyways when you get a bigger turbo. So if you're satisfied.
Right.
No need to put the extra $3,000 in.
I think that's a good thing to do mods incrementally, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you get something, you got the cash, but that's not fun.
Right.
If you go from stock to like a stage 3 car, you don't get the excitement of every time you put a new part on.
Yep.
It's like I like going stage 1, give it 3 to 6 months. Yeah, Larry and Mass, man. It's definitely worth thousands more.
Larry in MA, he's commented on a lot of our auctions. He's super vocal, and he's a really good guy. He loves these Miatas, and this is worth so much more than $10,750. I really hope the Bringer trailer didn't push this seller into a lower reserve, because these cars are just worth way more, especially with a service record like this. He's kept a spreadsheet of everything.
Right,
we have
11.
spark plug replacement. We have clutch cylinder replace and oil. We just got a bid for $11,000 on this Mazda Speed Miata, and we have 1:47 to go.
Like we said yesterday, bring a trailer. If anyone's new, they add the 2 minutes at the end of the auction like this. Any bid adds 2 minutes to the clocks to avoid sniping the car.
30.
Is it? I thought it was 2 minutes.
Oh, maybe it's 2.
Let's see. This is a big comment here.
I currently own 2 Mazda Speed Miatas, a red and an orange. Orange is rare. They only made a handful of those in 05. I've had 2 S2000s, so this kind of ties into the conversation we were having earlier. The interior on the S2000 is a bit larger, and the top is power operated. I will keep my 2005 as long as I can drive a stick. So I think that really goes to show this guy has had experience in 2 S2000s. He said 2 Mazda Speed Miatas, has an orange 05, which is a super rare car considering they only made 1,500 of them in 2005, and he's making the comment that he's keeping this.
Yep, and if you go to the bottom, he actually says, buy with confidence. I have no horse in this race, but the 04 blue S2K with the hardtop that sold a bit earlier today for $20K. There's no way that car is twice as nice as this car.
These cars are 90 to 95% of an S2000.
He said buy this and save the money.
Yes, totally.
Save the money.
Totally.
I agree. But damn, I love the S2K.
I love the S2K too, but the price different, the difference in price, that delta just doesn't make sense to me. So we're down in the red here on this Mazda Speed Miata. What do you think? You think it's getting bid up more?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Just for the sake of future Mazda Speed Miatas.
Right.
You know, we want them.
We want the market on these to be strong because they're great cars.
They're great cars. They're even better when they come in metallic silver.
It's titanium.
Titanium gray, I should say. And a 1 owner.
35 seconds. Wanderlust 99. I believe that was the guy who had been lurking in the shadows since 2017.
Wanderlust, come on out.
24 seconds. I hope this doesn't sell. This car is deserving of so much more. We're going to see here. 15 seconds to go.
Oh, what's going on today, BAT? Like, this is quiet. If this sells at 11,250,
no.
Jeez. Sheesh.
Wow. Wow. Not much to say about that one. I think.
Wow, Joel. We got Joel Johnson saying, "Wow, nuts, Joel."
Wow.
Wow. I don't know if you just saw my face right there, but my jaw was dropped, man. 11,250. What a steal is right.
I am not sure.
I wonder if Joel's a Mazda Speed Miata guy. What's up, man?
I think anyone, any car guy can kind of appreciate a turbo Miata, right?
Oh yeah.
You know.
Joel, how's it going?
That's sad. That's sad. There's no other way to put it.
What do you think the reserve was?
I think they bullied him into probably a reserve at 10.5 or 11. That's one of the things I don't really like about Bring a Trailer. I think sometimes.
Is this the seller's first?
Let me check. So we'll see if he's had experience, but this car is worth 13.5 to 14.5 all day long with 27,000 miles. One of 5,000. This is his first auction, so I think
Joel said he's been looking at NDs.
ND Miatas, yeah.
To be honest, but he's been very happy. But he would have been very happy with that at 11K.
Yeah, I mean,
I totally agree, man. Like that car for 11,250, I would have budgeted 13.5
for that.
13.5.
So listen, 11,250. You would have budgeted 13.5. What would you have done with that Delta?
Flying
Miata.
Yeah.
You just go to Flying Miata and you get they call it the little enchilada.
The little enchilada from Flying Miata.
And that's the kit you get, and it brings it to 200 wheel. You throw 16s or 15s on this with sticky tires.
Joel, are you looking at the NDs because of budget, like because you don't have a budget for the Mazda Speed, or
no? NDs are newer, so they're more expensive.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, the ND is the most current generation of the Miata, so they're gorgeous cars. I think he's saying that if had he known, he could have gotten this for 11, which is such a steal. He would have gone that way.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm reading that wrong. Sorry, Joel.
But yeah,
Joel, I would stay on BAT, man. Like
we almost pulled the trigger one last time at 11,500, but somehow managed restraint, steal of a price.
Based on the earlier SDK, right. It's fire sale day on BAT. Like we've been saying, it is sale day on BAT. Joel, if you can wait, yeah, he just likes the newer cars. He lives in a big city, so he can't have a big garage. Okay. Yep. That makes a total sense. What type of driving do you do? Are you like...
Does he go out to the twisties?
Yeah, you going out on the weekends, or is this more like you're mainly driving in the city and you wanted something fun?
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It seems like we're not the only ones who think that it was a sale day for Bring Trailer, because we're usually pretty spot on with our valuations, and we were wrong today, I should say. So
we're gonna see what we have remaining. That was gonna be our last auction we're commenting on, and
that's cool.
There's one more auction for the day. That's a Honda Elite 250 scooter.
Midnight MK7 beers for the stream tomorrow. Sip for each bid.
Yeah.
I mean, we're definitely going to have beers for the stream tomorrow.
And I think we might have Midnight MK7 on the stream tomorrow with a beer in his hands.
Yeah, we could get him in here.
And see what he has to say.
Joel, do you have any videos on your channel? Like, let's see.
So I'm going to head over to the auction results. And
he's got a couple... I'm not seeing any, car... He owns cars, so we can talk about them on the internet. That's cool. Where do you usually chat? Are you in forums? Do you go to local meets? Like, that's pretty cool. Let us know. Reach out. Let us know where we can find where you're posting.
Stuff,
where we can find your stuff. And Joel, if you're enjoying the stream, hit the subscribe button.
Helps us out a lot.
Helps us out. Knows you guys are liking what we're putting out there. Elevated Off-Road, Seller Lesson, Don't Have Your Car Sell on Spring Thursday afternoon. Great show, guys. I'll keep chiming in. Elevated.
Thank you, Elevated.
Thank you. Thanks for getting us to go out and
upgrade the setup.
It's
getting more upgrades soon.
Yep, it'll get more upgrades soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna be back on tomorrow, hopefully around 2:30 to 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep, I think we're gonna do a little recap of what we covered today. We covered this 2004 Mazda Speed Miata. We did touch on the VR4 as well.
Joel said he's mostly on Twitter. He subbed to us. Thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate that. So we're going to go over some of the stuff today.
Yep. And then we're going to close it out and see everyone tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we touched on the 1995 VR4. That was way below. We're talking around 10,000 below.
Yeah.
That was a quiet auction. We touched on the S197 2008 Ford Mustang Roush track pack again. We're like $13,000 off of that. There was a bit of a hazy history, some accident reports that the seller wasn't completely transparent about, so not surprised they didn't hit reserve. Kyle's dream car, we touched on that one today. 2006 Subaru Impreza WRX STI. That was a Hawkeye. Absolutely gorgeous car in
We've got James. Blue. Just came across the feed. I'm really enjoying it. I'm an Alpha guy, but looking at Miatas recently. Thanks, guys.
Sweet.
James, thanks for coming in.
I think we have an Alpha. The first auction tomorrow is an Alpha.
Oh, yeah. Bring on the... Elevated. We're definitely going to be doing that S54 M Coupe tomorrow.
Yep.
Especially with the flag right behind me. And as I mentioned, we haven't had an M yet. But But again, we're gonna cut the stream here for the day, guys. Yep. We'll be back. I hope to see you tomorrow. Elevated, Joel, James, with questions, comments. It's been great today. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.